Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. I'm going to talk about the runoff today and in Georgia. I know it's the day over here. It's Warnock and Walker. This is the day, the runoff. I already done voted last week. So it's pretty much, just a review what's going on today and things like that. So we'll see what we got in here. All right, let me get inside. This is pretty much it. It's been a long day for me. Get this shit under wraps. No, it's not entertainment. We don't do that. Okay, we got this under control. All right. It's pretty much, like I've seen before all time, because I already voted last week and it was a good turnout, but people was voting in droves. You saw black people and white. It was in the senior center, but it was other places they were early voting too last week. So today's kind of like a mediocre day. It's kind of a little slow, but it ain't slow. But people are early voting. People know what the results are gonna. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to find who's in the lead right now because if one of them, but I think Warnock, the incumbent, if he wins, Democrats already got the Senate majority. They already got the Senate majority, but if he wins it, they're going to have the majority of the votes of the Senate. Republicans, on the other hand, they try to think they're going to get the Senate. They're not going to get it. I mean, a lot of Republicans are going against Walker, and that party is so divided. It's not even funny. Kemp did not want, in that fake ad he did with Herschel, that shit was not authentic. I mean, he was forced to do that because him and Trump had issues. So that party does not fuck with Trump. You so-called Trump supporters and all that, they do not fuck with your boy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They don't fuck with your boy for several reasons. They don't fuck with him because it's obvious he started that January 6th nonsense and he was behind that. A lot of people don't like Trump. I'm just gonna tell you right now because what he did when he got it, they felt sorry for him. So it's pretty much like you're saying like the whole thing just spiraling through with that party, but that party's finished. Quiet as kept. They act like they on the up and up, but that fucking party's finished. I mean, let's just keep 1,000. You cannot have somebody divided over some bullshit like that. Because Trump is one of them dudes. It's just like he just don't know when to shut up. That party is just set up to fail regardless of what's going on and things like that nature. And why in the fuck is an ad? Oh shit. Okay, hold on for a minute. Yeah, I had to get that off my history lane. My shit on there. Thank you. Enough of that bullshit. Let's see something real quick. I'm not gonna be on the phone talking about this shit. I'll deal with it later. What's going on, the general salute? Yeah, it's just like that party's so divided over some bullshit. It's not even funny, but the way that ad, what I saw from Kemp, support so-called supporting Herschel, it's not authentic. I mean, if you have ads on YouTube and you see, if you live in Georgia, you expect a lot of people think it's unity. No, that party is already faltering, as you can tell. Democrats is the only one unified. They're not really faltering. Democrats don't have far left people. I'm just gonna tell you, they never did and they never will. There's a lot of people dropped out of the Democratic Party, but they still find a way remain strong for some damn reason. And everybody thinks they're liberal. They're not liberal. They never was. They've just been conservative. They just have conservative views. A lot of them still do. There's a lot of Joe Biden Democrats still exist. They just don't be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of historically, like people don't realize Republicans have always been liberal. They've always supported certain cultures. Like if you look at the Latin community in the Republican Party, they always supported that. They just have a different way of looking at it. Do you have conservative Republicans? Absolutely, but they're the minority. They don't exist really because those are the Barry Goldwater Republicans. The Barry Goldwater Republicans, the so-called conservatives, they exist on a fraction. It all started in 1964. People forget about that 1964 election with him and Lyndon Johnson. Got destroyed by a conservative Democrat. So the Democrats have always had that prowess. You know what I'm saying? But they always had that prowess, you know? And that's how you gotta look at it. But the Democrats have maintained what they were. So y'all gotta pretty much understand that that party has always had that. And it's just what it is. But then again, a lot of people just get caught up in the party systems, but neither one has any dominance over the other. But the Democrats have always supported conservatism. They never supported anything. Yes, they have a little socialism, like so-called left-leaning, but in reality, socialists are damn near conservative. They're not. It's no such thing as left or right when it comes to those ideologies. They lean towards the right every now and then because most of them end up being fascists. At the end, they have to be on the right wing side. That means you got to be a little bit liberal in some of your thinking, but only time they have conservative laws is it's in the middle because mostly conservatives are not really left or right. They're actually in the middle. They can play both sides, but in reality, not everybody's going to be conservative forever. It depends on who you are, ideology, because not everybody's born that way. You got to be made a certain way. Now everybody's always in the middle because it doesn't exist. It exists, but it doesn't exist in the rest of the world. Most people are authoritarian. They lean towards right or left. They don't see conservative or liberal. Now, most countries that are liberal is a rare thing. Like what you see in the Roman culture, and America represents the Roman culture. Like you have a lot of liberal racists that lean towards the right. 95% of them are racists. They support the Republican Party, but they support right wingism. All liberals are not left leaning. I'm trying to tell you, they've always supported the right. They always had racial aspirations. They're capitalists. They always want to isolate people from the other side. We need to stop calling them leftists because they're not really what y'all think they are. If you study history, they've always hated the left and they always supported the right on the low because they want private shit. They don't want big shit. Democrats and conservative people want big shit. They pretend they want private, small shit, but no, they want the big shit. You can't mix the two. America's always been ass backwards. It's always been a country that's in confusion. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get caught up in the left and right politics because it doesn't exist. It's what you do based off who you are philosophically and who you are as a person. Because 95% of the time, they just are a bunch of hypocrites. But the main reason I always say Democrats have a lot of conservative leanings is because their laws are a little strict. You can't really do much. So it's just like communism. It's not even a leftist ideology. Communism is very strict. It's for the people for a minute, that's the catch-all, but really they have strict policies, but it's authoritarian so-called left. I just don't buy into authoritarian. Mostly authoritarianism really leans towards the right. The left doesn't exist. The only way that exists if you have like a communist structure or a left in the middle leaning, I would say like a conservative structure. And they ended up not getting exposed because they ain't killed a lot of people. See, people will blame Mao and Stalin for killing a lot of people. Not necessarily. Those people chose that and they deserve to get killed, but they use other people to do it. That's why I don't call them the extreme dictators. I'm gonna make a list of it. They're not real dictators to me. The true dictators, I hate to say it, is the autocratics lean towards the right a little bit, and fascists would be your Papa Docs, your Kim Jong Un's, the Young Il's, his family, the Kim dynasty, and then also who else? Who else was in there? Tajiki. I mean, Hideko Tojo, one of them guys in Japan. Those people, and then you got all those motherfuckers. They lean towards that, but it's historically, and then you got Mussolini, of course, Hitler. All those guys support the right ideology. But America supports fascism 95% of the time because their policies is a little bit fascist now. Because corporations have fascistic mindsets. That's what they're trying to push for years and years. And then what you see in this election is no different. One not represents the church. The other one is just it's on the extreme side with Mr. DJT. You know who I mean by DJT? Donald Trump. But it's mainly you see this all the time. But 95% of the time, you got people just get caught up on some nonsense with those views. But reality, I will say, Warnock is a better fit for this state because people support the church. Can't go against a pastor. The guy that cares about football haven't lived in Georgia in years. That's the only reason, and he knows Trump from the USFL. That's the only reason why he's in it. He's gonna fight for all that. He ain't gonna do shit. He don't know a thing about Georgia. He don't know a thing about Georgia. That's why it wouldn't make sense for us to support that. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing about what's going on in the world. But you got to look at the big picture. That's just how. King Leopold, I would say the second is more of a fascist, but yeah, yeah, he leans towards fascism to me. The kid Leopold, the first is a little different. That's kind of sketchy. He's like somewhere in the middle. But the son of that, the second, I believe he leaned towards the right. So Leopold, that's a whole nother, similar to Mussolini and things like that. See, people forget about Leopold. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people don't know about Leopold. I'm the only person that talk about him. And Mussolini is another person, but all these guys was pushing that shit for years. And in the 20th century, nobody checked them on that. Nobody challenged them or did anything about it. So it's pretty much they just got caught up in the wind. So, let me step away real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. But it's pretty much, you just see what you got, you know. And that's just how I look at it in so many things. But pretty much you see what's going on. But in Georgia, they still have the two candidates. That life says it's gonna be closer. I don't know. It may be close because there's no libertarian ticket. It's a 2-man ticket on the runoff. So Warnock's gonna beat him outright. This is my thoughts on it. They're gonna beat him outright because most Republicans are not gonna vote for neither candidate, and they're especially not gonna vote for Herschel Walker. And I'll tell you why. Herschel Walker's not the guy. The white man already lost the House. A lot of Republicans do realize they didn't win the House. I mean, they won the House, but they want the Senate. They didn't get the red wave. They didn't get the Senate. So Democrats going to control the Senate. So once they don't have control of the Senate, Biden still has control of the Senate. He can block what they're saying automatically. So the Republican House ain't gonna do shit. The House never does shit. No way. Let's just keep it real. They don't do shit no way unless they're told to. Unless they're told to. Because in 2024, it will not be a red house. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of them are gonna be losing next year. This is my prediction. A lot of Democrats going to end up being in the House in 2024 and further on because the uprise of Trump's movement and people getting divided since Kanye is running. Since he's running, for prez, I don't think he's gonna win because they don't want our own running the country. He's gonna actually challenge. It says he think he's gonna be like Trump. So I saw him on the Alex Jones shit, and I already know who he's backed by and controlled by. It's just obvious. The stuff he's saying is just utterly ridiculous. But it's gonna get to a point that Kanye's gonna have to understand that he did this before, and will he get some votes? He may have. It's gonna fuck all the party up. Now we talking about 2 years from now, because next year I'm gonna hardly be on here. I'm just gonna drop some things and just pre-record, and that's it. I'm not gonna be on here for a long time. I'm just gonna get in here and just get out and just cut through and just like let's get going. You know, I'll be less and less on here all the time, but you gotta expect me to be more, right? That's how I'm gonna look at it, because I'm gonna be on here less than before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that people got their mind made up and say, hey, we're gonna do us. Guess my drift. So it's pretty much you just like, okay, we here and people gotta suffer from that. Okay. But that's just the whole, thing about it. I'm not really tripping. But then again, you just gotta see what's going on. But like I said, I've seen a lot of changes coming in the years, but you got to understand that in 2 years, people are going to be who they are, right? They're going to be who they are, and we just got to be in that foundation. But then again, you just got to look at where people are now. I don't know why this thing won't. Yeah, y'all got to stop that. Yeah, my man's playing bully. Yeah, the game that I told y'all about, I had to take that off, man. I ain't like the driving in that game. I'm cool. I'm cool with it. And I see why I didn't have a sequel. The driving mechanics suck. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because it's pretty much I've just like I figured, and that's pretty much it. So it's enough on that. That's just a little sidebar. You know, that's pretty much you know yeah. That's pretty much. It's pretty much it. I'm not really download it. It's a similar game that I played before, but I'm playing a remaster, so I ain't got that much to play on Xbox. I done cooled out on that. Yeah, it's a lot of shit files today. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because I'm not gonna be in a stringent mood, but I'll play it later because I'm not trying to trip off of anything. But today's the day. Yeah, this is gonna be an hour today. This is an open discussion, and we're gonna talk about what's going on in the election of the runoff and things like that. So we're gonna talk about Warnock and what's his name, Walker, because Walker ain't getting no support on the Republicans like they threw out there. That was a Trump thing. I told you it was a Trump thing. I said this like months ago. It was close, but I didn't think it was gonna be that close. But what threw it off was the Libertarian. If the Libertarian did not throw it off, Warnock would have destroyed him outright. But he's gonna win. He's gonna win tonight because I feel like I just don't see Walker winning. I just don't see it because a lot of people are so delusional and don't understand that the Republicans and him are divided. because he's a Trump guy, and everybody's seeing that. A lot of people's going to vote for Warnock, and the ones that are Republicans, the officials, are not vote for neither side. They want a Republican candidate to win, but that's not going to happen. And that guy think he's going to run. I think my father was saying that guy was going to run. That was against Walker and George. That motherfucker's not going to win. In the future, there'll be a Democrat, but it's going to be a woman. But ain't going to be no black woman. It's going to be somebody, probably Latin or whatever. You're going to see some changes. There will never be a black woman uh, running for governor again. That was a one-time thing. Stacey did open the doors to other women. And I'm mark my words, it may be an Asian or a brown one. I'm just predicting that's going to be running for governor because a lot of women are going to run for governor this year because of the abortion. And then she's going to talk about other things. That's going to happen. And we're going to see this in 2026 because that's the next governor race. So Kemp ain't going to do shit for the rest of the couple of years because he ain't going to do shit this year, next year, and the next year. He's not going to do shit. If Biden starts to run again, he's going to win again. That's just a prediction. Most people predict he's going to win again. I don't think he's going to run again. That's just me personally. Some people believe it. I don't believe he's going to run. He's already older. He's going to do something that ain't never. He just want to get in there and stay in there. But he's not going to try to run for that. But if Trump's trying to run, Biden's going to win again. But this time, he's got better help. He's got better support. So the Democrats will maintain a strong grip like they've always had. They're trying to get their bearings back for all them years. Republicans have failed so much. So the Republicans are through. That's how I look at it. You can't have a bunch of party men and act like they know everything, expect people to move forward. So again, this is just a recap what's going on. And I'm just seeing what's going. And yeah, it's 20 something minutes in, but it ain't 3 yet. So had a little rest, but it's pretty much the same. You just can't expect people to do anything, right? But that's how it is, because we'll go in an hour, we're gonna go over, but it's pretty much it's all in the same. But then again, you just got people who just get caught up on the little drama and things like that. So let's see what's going on here. You got Savannah, Augusta, Athens, Atlanta, and Macon. Savannah's on the south. So it's kind of weird. Results respected about 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm gonna have this on right here. Okay. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna share a screen with y'all. What do you say? Oh, I don't see that. Darren's trying to say he come from the left. I don't see that. He leaned towards the middle. But Leopold II is more violent. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna get into that. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all see the screen. Yeah. I'll point out something to you. Okay, everything else is red, right? Except Georgia. Georgia's gonna be blue. Warnock's got all these guys in the early voting. Augusta from Atlanta. Macon's a little tricky, Savannah, but Warnock's from Savannah, so he's up in there in the South. That's where Warnock's from. He basically got all four of these except Macon. Macon will probably give it to Herschel. Augusta, I wouldn't count on it, or Athens, I wouldn't. The only reason Herschel will get Athens and Macon is because it'll be a red split and everybody else will be blue. That's just me figuring it out. But normally, that's the result key and all that. This is what I'm talking about. And Republicans don't fuck with him. He was appointed by Trump and them. So he's backed by Trump. So, it's pretty much like that's what I'm talking about in so many words. So pretty much you look at it for what it is and just like, hey, the runoff is a little different. This is going to determine how jobs are going to be ran, especially in this state, how everything is pushed, who's going to be in the White House, and who's going to determine what. That's the thing. But you see these things all the time. And if you have that support all the time, but that's how I look at it, right? And that's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it. So I don't really look at it for any hour. So when people are gonna say who they're gonna vote for, that's cool. But I ain't gonna tell you who I voted just right off. People ask me, but I ain't vote for no damn Walker. I'll tell you that because Walker's ignorant. A lot of people like Herschel Walker. I don't really care. If you're a Trump guy, I just can't fuck with you. Because Trump, a lot of people say he's good, he's it. No, he ain't. He ain't never been shit. Trump's the type of guy that supports the rich. He ain't helping nobody. Anybody delusional to think like that is stupid. He don't fuck about you or anybody else. He cares about himself. He's a narcissist. All he cares about is his motherfucking self. And the reason why he's a full-blown narcissist, he don't care about what others think. He talk bad about somebody and then there it is. He has an inflated extreme ego. Hell, that's why most New Yorkers think like that. That's why people don't mess with him. But do you have some New Yorkers that are not narcissistic? It's several, but the majority I've seen is more like Trump. And I'm not mad. That's just how they are. I'm not a fan of narcissism. I'm not a fan of that. I never will be. Because that shit will get you in the casket, bro. That's what's wrong with people now. They so damn narcissistic, they forget who they are. It breaks families up. I can tell you that. You see it in dictatorship. You see it in all types of shit. I'm not going to get into it. People don't know what that means, but it's war. Like, you got to look at what's what. You can't expect people to change. You can't change people for who they are. I learned that. You can't change people how they think. That's how I look at it. You just can't really get emotional about it. This is one of those things that you just got to look at it from a angle that you see right now. But you cannot get upset why people think the way they think. But you got to understand the world is not rolled that way. It's pretty much the same. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. But it's just like what I thought. Normally I'm just looking at it from what it is. And I'm just like, expect more from people, but you get caught up, and there you are. You know, like one thing I can just say about this election, it's going to be one interesting runoff because you're going to see two candidates trying to maintain the spot and the other one trying to get in the spot. I just don't see Herschel winning, and that's just how people are going to look at it. And most people think he's going to win, but he ain't going to win nothing. Don't get your hopes up. It's just Georgia's going to be what it is, and a lot of Republicans are not going to vote for Herschel Walker. If it was a white guy or somebody else, they will do that. It's pretty much it. But not no Herschel Walker, unless the Republicans the incumbent candidate. Because the last time there was an incumbent race, that person lost, and that was 2 years ago. That was the Republican side. But since Warnock won the first one, he wasn't no incumbent Democrat. Now he's an incumbent Democrat by default. People think he's gonna lose. He's an incumbent. They don't work that way. Usually, Democrats win the incumbent spot. They have a history of winning. Republicans don't always win that. I mean, they win in other states, but not in Georgia. They went straight out to their party, so they challenge her. So I didn't think Warnock was being challenged by Herschel Walker. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. A lot of people will put that person in there. But all these Republican candidates think they can win and try to compete against Trump. Y'all suck. Y'all ain't got nobody. Republicans ain't got nobody. Nobody listen to that shit. That's just the type of people they are. People run for politics for different reasons, but they don't have the fortitude to win. That's just how it is. I don't get caught up in the other shit and people just be like, why is this person winning and they ain't winning as much? Well, you gotta understand, it's not about like ability, it's who you are. Some people vote for who you are and what you've done for them and things like that. They have favors. People lose elections all the time. Not by just cheating, but by other means. You gotta understand how the world works. And I'm not just trying to say anything bad about people, but you gotta understand how the world really works. We gotta stop and think about it for a minute. That's the problem that I have with certain people. And I'm just like looking at it like for what it is. I'm just looking at it for what it is. But then again, you just see what's going on. Oh, what's going on, Toya? But yeah, it's just like what I see for this election. It's pretty much like I've seen them all, but this one is kind of interesting because you got Trump's side and then you got your so-called Biden side. Backing Warnock. Of course, he's gonna back him. It's not just him, but a lot of Democrats backing him and certain Republicans because he represents the church. He's cool with Kemp. They wouldn't give it to Stacey because Stacey was reaching with the abortion. I understand that what she was trying to do, people voted for, and the ones that didn't, it's the same as she lost some years ago. She lost in 2018. That was about 4 years ago. She lost 4 years ago. 4 years later, she fought the same person again and couldn't beat him. She was trying to oust Kemp, but people didn't buy it. They just felt comfortable. But Let this be no warning to y'all. There ain't gonna be no Republican governor that's gonna win like that, and the Republicans is gonna have to move on from Georgia. They ain't gonna win that because they ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody that can compete with certain people that want that spot. It's a different world. And Chicago's got a new governor. She's Democrat, and they trust that she's gonna be ousted. I highly doubt she's gonna be ousted because Chicago's divided as itself as a city, and it remains that way. That's what you got to look at for the big picture. And that's just how I look at what I've seen. But then again, a lot of women's voting for Democrats as usual. And I've noticed something every election. I always say, why they vote Democrat? It's not the black men. They always want to say black people. Why does the women vote Democrat? Is it because you see a lot of women running? Do you have women running for Republicans? Yeah, I seen one lost in Arizona. She was a Trump person and she got destroyed. That's not good. If you're a woman supporting Trump, I understand, but that's not good for the future if you really think about it. Y'all should have women support on your team. If they don't support Trump, they're looking at you like that, going against another woman that's a Democrat. I mean, the other person may not have no good sense, but she's a lot better than, oh boy, saying some reckless stuff. So it's pretty much like it's nothing coming from the West Coast in the Republican Party. It doesn't exist. It only exists in some parts of the South or on the water of the South. But you see this all the time in sort of aspects of what's going on. But yeah, but the world's changing. You look at politics for what it is, and then you just look at it and just like say, hey, this is how they're gonna run. This is how they're gonna run the elections, and it's pretty much it. So I see this coming from a mile. But when you have these type of elections this close, the third party kind of stopped the two from getting 50. Now tonight is it. It's a big day. For Warnock and those guys, and Warnock may seal the deal, or we have a new senator. I highly doubt we're gonna have a new senator because Walker, a lot of people say he's saying a lot. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't talking about nothing. He lived in Texas for some years, even though he's born in Georgia, but still, you're not considered Georgia anymore. You're trying to get your status over in Texas, and then he want to register and then try to get back to living in Georgia. But if he loses, he need to take his ass back to Texas because you used to be from Georgia, and then there you are. Nobody's not gonna listen to Herschel Walker, man. Like I don't know if he's gonna ever run again if he loses. That's pretty much it. But then again, you have some problems. They think Warnock's gonna lose the election. That's what most people think. And then people don't know Democrats got this shit sold up. They got Georgia sold up like a bow. In the future, it's gonna be all blue again and again because I'm looking at the pattern because they did have a Democratic governor. His name was I believe he was Barnes. I forget his first name, but he ruled it like it was nothing. Yeah, you had a lot of corruption in the mayoralship in Atlanta with Shirley Franklin and them. But that shit, Atlanta's been off the hook. But it's like it's changing in the future. So we're gonna see some things. In 2024, it's gonna be a different year. It's gonna be a different year. It's gonna be a different year. A lot of people are gonna see some changes. Cause see, in 2022, it's like it was nothing. But 2 years from now, the presidency race is upon us, and that it reminds you of the 1964 election. It's pretty much it. It's like it reminds you what's going on, where we at, and All the other elections, you'd be like, oh, we're still here. But it's pretty much like what you're seeing right now. So the election cycle is still here. It's pretty much you just get caught up and then there you are talking about it for the next couple of minutes and there you is. But then again, you just see the things that you see. I'll put this down over here. Yeah, it's 2:56 right now, so three is something. I appreciate for Toy stop by. Yeah. Let's see what's up here. Let's see something right quick. I'm gonna step away real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I had to check something. But it's pretty much, that's how I look at it. But you see, the election is just like one big thing to go through and people start talking and they be like, oh, we over here talking about what's his name? You know? That's just how I look at it. Goes 3:15 roll around or 3 o'clock. This may be short. It's probably gonna be the shortest stream I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna stay on long. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to an hour. We'll see. We'll see. Cause it's been a long day for me. I need some rest. Get my brain working. I had to delete this game or whatever. It's pretty much it. I may cut this short. So yeah, I may cut this short because this is I'm just gonna get some rest because I ain't got that much. But talking about the election things like that. But yeah, but people got to be mindful what's going on and what they're seeing right quick and things like that. So pretty much it. But yeah, Warnock and let's say Walker is gonna be a very interesting race. But to me, Warnock's gonna win based off the fact that his support goes from both parties. Walker is like fish out of the water. The only people supporting him is people that supported Trump. They said that's a lot of people, but that really is not a lot of people. That Trump shit's weighing off on the Republicans. The Republicans are tired of that shit. They want to win. And that's the whole purpose of the Republican Party. They want to win. They don't want to hear nothing else. They want results. Because Trump ain't the only thing in the world. And that's how you got Kanye fans. You got a lot of fans, but if they support him in this presidential election, that's a whole nother story. But see, Trump did something that no one has ever done before. The celebrities then got crazy and want to run for president, but they don't know a thing about politics, modern day, everyday living. And that's how you got to look at it. I'm seeing it right now. Oh my God. He said, you got a head and run driver. You got a head and run driver. He said, you got a hit and run driver. Da, 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 da. You got a ticket. You got a ticket. Man, let me pay this bullshit. These damn sexuals. Johnny Long. Fine Wu Young. Da 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 da. Nang Wu Young. Oh wow. Let me stop it. I was in a radio station on this game. The South said, "We're back to Chinatown." That was so racial. Like the part where I think if you play Mafia 2 with Vito and then the Chinatown song comes, it's an old song, but a lot of people think it's racial, but technically it's not. It is what it is. I mean, Chinese talk about China, and they so basic. When people talk bad about China, China always been hated. This ain't got nothing to do with the Cold War. The Cold War is really the Koreans. China ain't the threat. As y'all people may think. They said China's a threat. No, it's not. It's propaganda and lies. They're selling you China, but China ain't. A lot said they're powerful in North Korea. No, they're not. They're not even that powerful. Mao Zedong fucked them up so bad they can't even think straight. They ain't got no military. Stop it. America's got the best military in the world, and they know that. Even they even said they're not built like that. To have something sustained like that. I mean, y'all watch too many movies and fantasy, bro. That shit is retarded and not non-existent. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty much like you see this all the time for certain individuals, and they just get caught up on the moment. And the moment you say anything bad about them, they're just like everybody else. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, man, it's always China down in the flavor young. Let me stop. Let me stop being an asshole. No flavor long. We in the stay. We in the stay. Oh, wow, wow. Wow, wow. And the lay flew younger. We back in China down in a little long. We back at what Chinese town. What we see here is gonna see what we get, but let me see something. See what my boy got. He said Jerry's paying for the barber. Flamingo, y'all. It's a nice one, Jimmy. Dun, 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 ooh, dun, 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 ooh. Let me stop. I'm acting crazy right now, but but that's all I got. Appreciate the people stopping by. Degenerate Toya, appreciate y'all. But that's all I got for the election. It's about being an independent thinking series. But this is the 21 edition election runoff in Georgia. Yeah, I just want to speak my mind with Warnock and Walker. So with that, yeah, I said I'm gonna make this extremely short. This ain't gonna go out because I gotta get some rest. And catch y'all later. And catch y'all tomorrow at 8:15, and we'll pick this right back up talking about the aftermath. So with that, I'm gonna say peace and shalom, and I'm out.